Oh, look at that. The old squinty expression. What I call the Clint Eastwood face. Well, hello. So today I'd like to take a look at this book, which is about Clint Eastwood, who I think, in my opinion, is the most awesome actor that's ever walked across the face of the earth. He's just amazing. He's an icon of his day. He ain't even dead yet, but he's an icon. It's unbelievable. I can't explain how much I admire this bloke. He represented so much for me. When I was a kid, we used to quote his phrases just off the bat, you know. So this book's brilliant. It's called Clint Eastwood. It's a biography by a chap called Richard Schickel. You'll get your nickel, boy. It's great. Obviously, of course, being an absolute cheapskate, mine's an ex-library copy, but it is withdrawn this time. It wasn't stolen. So there's the intro. If you would like to have a look at that, and obviously I've just got so many phrases from Clint. I don't know where to begin. This was from the UK. My dad actually bought me this book. It was from a second-hand shop, but that's a thrift store. That's the bits and bobs you need. So let's go to the photos, because there are plenty of them. And so there's Ruth Eastwood. So she was 21 when she had Clint. So that's pretty cool, you know. A young mum, nice, sweet. That's all good, because then they relate more to their children. My parents were a lot older. My mum had a lot of trouble with her children, and so she was 36 when she had me, 34. So that made for trouble, because obviously, and my dad, because I got to teenage years, innit, and I just didn't agree with what they were going on about, innit, sod off. No, it was all good in the end though. So young mums are all cool. So here's Clint fishing. He's got his fishing pole, and there he is as a young actor. They ironically said that his voice was lame. He was too soft spoken. I mean, God, that is surely his calling card. You know, asshole. He's brilliant. He's my most favourite actor ever. That's a fact. And he's obviously had a really interesting life. Really interesting. He used to be, I remember, in a television program called Rawhide, and he was here he is on the set of Rawhide. I used to watch it as a kid, black and white show. Well, maybe it wasn't on my television. What are you talking about, mate? It's the Tim. He's having a right old laugh over there. And ironically, the Italian spaghetti westerns were actually filmed in Spain, and I used to live in Spain, and I used to know, I know where they were. They were filmed near, having said that, my bloody dead brain, it's not going to happen, is it? They were filmed near a place called Cartagena, okay, and there was a special set made up for the productions, and they were really cute. I used to love them. Well, I still do. I still watch them. My mule don't like you laughing. He's brilliant. He's just the best ever. Clint is a god. He's like, if I wanted a president, I would say it's got to be Clint Eastwood. When I tell you what though, I went to California, right, years ago in the mid 90s, 94, 95, and Clint used to own a restaurant called the Hog's Breath. It was in Carmel, where he was actually the mayor, and it was rumoured that occasionally he used to go in there and waiter. You know, he would kind of like to get close to his clients and what have you. So I went in there and he wasn't there, and I was so disappointed. You can't imagine how disappointed I was that I hadn't met Clint. I just would have loved to have shook his hand. He's my icon. Yeah, I mean, what hasn't he done? Kelly's Heroes. I think my favourite, Play Misty for me is a classic. But I think my favourite is Coogan's Bluff, where he is being suspected of being from Texas, and he keeps saying Arizona, you know. And at one point, well, there he is with the wonderful Shirley MacLaine in Two Mules for Sister Sarah, classic film. And anyway, at one point, he's in this taxi cab, and he says to this driver, "Tell me, how many bearings, shops called bearings have you got in this town?" And the taxi driver says, "Well, only the one." And he says, "Well, we passed it twice." and the taxi driver says, "Well, it's still going to be $4 plus, you know, 10 nickel for the tip or whatever." And you know, and Clint says, "Here's $5, including the tip." It's not a very good impression of old Clint. I used to be better at my Clint Eastwood, I must say. I used to nail it, but as I've got older, my throat has kind of closed up. The Outlaw Josie Wells, another classic, where Clint, there's this irritating little salesman that's wearing a white suit, and he's constantly trying to flog this potion that he's got in his bag, you know. It cures just about everything, you know, coughs, sneezes, all the rest of it, strange diseases, you know. And old Clint just spits his baccy onto his white suit. And he goes, "How is it on stains?" He's the king of the one-liner, this guy. This dude, he's an icon. The king of the one-liner. And that was his lovely wife, Sondra Locke. Who he was married to for many, 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 many years. Sadly, they're not together now. That's Clyde. That was an orangutan who was famous in Any Which Way You Can and Any Which Way But Loose. There were two movies, and apparently a lovely creature. I suppose it's long gone now, bless it. But no, goodly Lord. Oh wow, Scatman Carruthers. A brilliant actor. He was in The Shining as well, of course. Probably most famous film for Scatman Carruthers was The Shining. Brilliant actor. I really liked him. Apparently, he was a wonderful person to work with as well. And because I've got a sort of a slight knowledge of the film industry, I know what that means for people. So let's look for some more photos. There are probably many. I hope so. Anyway, there you go. Here we are. So there's Clint. That will be on the outside the Chinese theatre excuse me, now I've got to remember. Where is it? Come on, Los Angeles, you idiots! Los Angeles. They have a walk of fame in America, in Los Angeles, where people leave their handprints, and it's interesting. It's a really it's a groovy place to go. And there's Clint with. Jim Carrey, the brilliant Canadian comic. He does an absolutely fantastic impression of Clint. In fact, I will leave it in the prescription pill box below because it's hilarious. And obviously, he has the same admiration for Clint. I mean, when they say when you impersonate someone, you know, you very much admire them. Here we are. That's the sort of go ahead, punk. Make my day moment, isn't it? I mean, he's worked with them all. There's the brilliant Burt Reynolds, sadly deceased now. That's Alison, Clint's daughter. He's had a few children, all of them beautiful looking people, that's a fact. Heartbreak Ridge, another one where he changed his voice slightly. He went for a gruffer voice for that one, you know. White Hunter Black Heart, well, that was filmed not so far away. Parts of it, I should say, were filmed not so far away from where I was brought up. It was in a place called West Wickham, where he used the house for that. Another brilliant actor, Forrest Whitaker. My favourite film with him was Platoon, of course, the wonderful Oliver Stone film. Wow, really? Here we go again, Gene Hackman, another of my favourites. I suppose that must be The Unforgiven. Who's the owner of this shithole? You, fat boy, step aside. When he's coming to get revenge for the murder of his friend, you know, who's played by Morgan Freeman. Oh, another brilliant. They're all brilliant movies. I don't think Clint's ever made a bad one, to be honest with you. If he has, then I've never heard of it. But no, The Bridges of Madison County. He's also, of course, a director. He's also, of course, a massive producer. I went. Okay, here's the thing. Oh, so that's his new wife. How beautiful she is. I went to well, it's a long time ago. I went to California, Burbank, right, studios in California, the Warner Brothers studios, because my ex-wife, well, she wasn't my ex-wife, she died. I didn't have any choice in that matter. She was my first wife. Diane was a producer, and she used to have contacts in America. And once upon a time, we went to Burbank, and there was a parking space. When we went around the Warner Brothers studios, there was a parking space, and it said, in a brass plaque, it stated, Mr. Eastwood. And I knew exactly straight away who that would have been. So that's all the pictures, I'm afraid, that you had them. So anyway, well, there's the filmography. Oh, wow, look at that. He's been going since 1955. Amazing, an amazing actor. Long may he live. I know everyone's knocking off now. They're clocking out, aren't they? Which is a real pisser for me, because these people are my world. You know, Kelly's Heroes. Oh my God, High Plains Drifter. I can remember the music. I mean, I know them all. I mean, I've watched them endlessly. The Outlawed Josie Wales, as I said, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, another classic with another great actor that I really like. Jeff Bridges, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, fantastic. Oh my God, Escape from Alcatraz. I mean, the list is. I mean, what this guy hasn't made. Pale Rider, ain't nothing like a good piece of hickory. I mean, they're all just classics. They're all just absolute classics. And of course, this book will finish. Because he's still on the go, isn't he? He's still making. What was it? Gran Torino was one of the last ones I watched that he had, which was brilliant. I loved it. Anyway, thanks ever so much, Clint Eastwood, for all the entertainment you've given me over the years. Bless you, sir, because you are my definitely number one iconic actor ever. I hope you watch this. I hope you get to see this video. I really do. And I of course you won't be wasting your time. You'll be too busy. But anyway, that's something's happening. There's doors closing. That's why Jimmy's gone on the rampage. Anyway, oh, it's the ghost. It's the ghost of number 64. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching. All the very best. Cheers.